Chapter 1, 6 years old, 3 levels of Dou Qi. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The Dou Qi Continent, the Jiama Empire, the unremarkable low house in a small alley in Wutan City. A 5 or 6-year-old child sat cross-legged, his hands made specific handprints in front of his body, his chest rose and fell slightly, forming a cycle between exhalations and inhalations. During the breath cycle, white air flow penetrated into the body along the mouth and nose. It is not difficult to understand what this child is doing in this Dou Qi Continent. This is a common way to cultivate Dou Qi in the Dou Qi Continent. Call. Suyun opened his eyes and stopped practicing today. He has been in the Dou Qi Continent for 6 years, and 2 years have passed since he started practicing at the age of 4, just like Xiao Yan in the original book. Because he has been a human being in 2 lifetimes, his soul is stronger than ordinary people, and his cultivation talent has also increased accordingly, and his cultivation talent is not low, coupled with the mind of an adult. He is playful like a real 6-year-old kid, and he has practiced hard for 2 years. This year, he is only 6 years old, and he has a 3rd stage fighting spirit. I just don't know, how talented is the 6-year-old Dou Qi stage 3, Suyun muttered to himself. He was born poor in this life with no background. He is familiar with the original work, and he knows that the strength of the Dou Qi Continent is supreme, and the weak are prey to the strong, so he doesn't have much contact with his peers. Just practice hard behind closed doors and improve your strength as much as possible. Therefore, I don't know how talented the 6-year-old Dou Qi 3rd stage is, but after thinking about it, at the age of 6, there is a 3rd stage of fighting spirit, and even if it is promoted to a stage a year after the age of 12, the cultivation base can reach the height of the 9th stage of fighting spirit. This is not too low. You must know that at the beginning of the original novel, Xiao Suner, who is 14 years old and has a 9-stage fighting spirit, is already the 2nd person in the Xiao family in 100 years. The 6-year-old Dou Qi's 3rd stage talent is not bad no matter what. Then my talent is not bad. Why? After thinking about it, Suyun sighed. He was not much different from Xiao Yan in terms of aptitude, but I may not be better than this little fellow. He got off the bed, picked up the white steamed buns on the wooden table, and secretly sighed that he didn't have such a good luck. Xiao Yan is a member of the Xiao family, one of the 8 ancient clans. Even if they are in decline, they are still one of the 3 major families in Wutan City. As the young patriarch of the Xiao family, at least they don't have to worry about food and clothing. It's not like living in a broken thatched hut, eating white steamed buns. He was born as a commoner in this life. His father was a slightly higher 3-star fighter, and his mother was only at the stage of fighting spirit. His family's income mainly depends on his father's hunting of low-level monsters, while his mother does odd jobs for the rich family in Wutan City to subsidize the family. In the case of barely making ends meet, I can still save some spare money, but when he was 4 years old, his father was killed in the Warcraft Mountains, and his mother was too sad, so she went with his father in the 2nd year, and his life became more and more difficult. This is just part of the family environment. He, Xiao Yan, is the destined protagonist of Dou Qi Continent, with destiny in his body. As long as they survive for 3 years, there will be Yao Chen as the teacher, Fen Ju as the hanger, and Xiao Suner and all the confidant friends to help set foot on the pinnacle, advance to Dou Qi, soar to the top, and be a proper winner in life. Suyun thought sourly. As an Earth traveler, he couldn't help comparing himself with Xiao Yan. He had traveled for 6 years, and the system hadn't been implemented yet. The gap. Suyun shook his head, and stopped thinking about these things. Instead of thinking about it, it's better to take action and be down to earth. Silently nibbling the steamed bun in his hand, Suyun fell into deep thought again. For the next few years, it is better to stay in Wutan City and practice hard. Geniuses belong to geniuses. But 3 levels of fighting spirit can't be waived at all. Although this Wutan City is a bit remote, apart from Xiao Suner's guard Lingying. The strongest is only the Dosher, but the security is still acceptable, as long as you don't provoke those dandies and have no enmity with the big family. No one will take care of you as a commoner. Suyun's parents have been honest and responsible all their lives, so they don't have such worries. As for Suyun, a 6-year-old Penance otaku kid, he won't leave the house except for necessary supplies. So of course it's fine. Therefore, Suyun intends to raise his cultivation first before making any fuss. The savings of his parents in this life are enough for him to spend for a few years. The fighting qi stage is mainly to expand the meridian and forge the body, strengthen the veins, and lay the foundation for the later concentration of fighting qi in the body. When practicing fighting qi, people are relatively young, and the meridians in the body are weak, so it is basically impossible to use external help. There are almost no requirements for cultivation resources, and it all depends on his own hard work and talent. He doesn't have to bother to find any cultivation resources, and he is not in a hurry to enter the fighting spirit continent. After recovering, he found some gold coins from under the bed, stepped through the gate, walked out of the alley, and walked towards the main street of Wutan City. The dry food at home has been eaten, and this time I went out to buy the amount for the next 3 or 4 days. After walking out of the alley for about 10 minutes, he came to the square market of Wutan City. Of course, he didn't want to buy it here. There are several such markets in Wutan City, which are controlled by 3 major families, and the items they sell are relatively precious, such as magic cores, weapons, jewelry, and some medicinal materials made of magic cores. Obviously, this is not where Su Yun, a rookie, should come now. It's just that this market is the only way for him to buy supplies. If he wanted to go to the place where the supplies used by ordinary people were sold, he had to pass through here. If he made a detour, it would take him half an hour to walk with his current foot strength. As soon as he entered this square city, Su Yun walked side by side. There are a lot of mercenaries and merchants in this market, and they sell things like magic cores. Whether it is selling or buying things, there is no doubt that they are all cultivated. Most of the customers who come and go in the aisles and the owners who sell goods at the stalls are fighters or above, and he is not a hairy kid with a third-level fighting spirit, although there are people from the 3 major families controlling order here, and it is rare to see people making trouble, but it is not uncommon, not to mention that there is already friction between the 3 major families. It is also common for the 3 families to quarrel with each other, and the smell of gunpowder is flying all over the sky. If you don't pay attention, you will fight in the street. If you are involved, you will have no place to cry. Su Yun was reborn in the Dou Qi Continent. Of course he understands what kind of world this is. Being a human being in 2 lives is as stable as an old dog. Every time I pass through, I am careful and move forward quickly. This is not difficult to understand. He is just a genius, not a strong man. If you don't grow up, it's the best policy, pass through Fengshe, buy food, and return the same way. Su Yun, as always, proceeded cautiously and quickly. This is our Fengshe. Yes, it is here. This square city is located in the south of Wutan City, and it is controlled by our Shao family. Su Yun returned to Fengshe, and was about to go home to practice, when he heard sporadic conversations in his ears, and thought in his heart. A member of the Shao family, that he has lived in Wutan City for 6 years, although he does not leave the gate, he does not enter the second gate, but the distribution of power in Wutan City is still known. This Fong City is the one that Xiao Yan brought Xiao Suner to in the original book. Su Yun looked up and saw that there were 2 children around his age, a boy and a girl. Shaking his head, he didn't think much about it. He has nothing to do with the Shao family, and there is no need to contact the Shao family. Ding! Chapter 2 Obtaining the System. You are listening at NovelFull.audio. Ding! The Man of Destiny has been detected, and the system activation conditions are met. Ding! The system is successfully activated. Suddenly, after Su Yun and the Shao family approached each other within 1 meter, a mechanical and blunt prompt sounded in his mind. System. Su Yun was taken aback for a moment, then ecstatically, after 6 years in the Dou Qi Continent, the golden finger necessary for crossing has finally arrived. Then, a mysterious feeling spread into Su Yun's brain. Su Yun closed his eyes and pondered carefully. A flash of understanding flashed in my mind. This is the system conveying information to him. After a while, Su Yun opened his eyes again. This information is not huge, it is just a brief introduction of system functions. He has been a human being in 2 lifetimes, his soul power is not bad, and his digestion is not difficult. This function is a bit crude. However, if used well, it can also have miraculous effects. Su Yun muttered to himself. With just a little effort in system activation, Su Yun and the Shao family have crossed each other. running in opposite directions. Wait, man of destiny. Su Yun's eyes sparkled. Xiao Yan. Su Yun looked back at the boy among the two children, and said silently, scan. Ding, scanning. The scan was successful. Afterwards, an information table that only Su Yun could see was suspended in the air. Name, Xiao Yan, sex, male, cultivation level, fighting chi level 3. Skills, none, fighting skills, none, item, mystic ring. Sure enough, it's Xiao Yan. There was a trace of clarity in Su Yun's eyes. In this Dou Qi Continent, only Xiao Yan is worthy of being called the man of destiny. If he had known that he would have to meet someone with the destiny to activate the system, he must have tried every means to get in touch with Xiao Yan. However, it is not too late now. As for the little girl beside him, Su Yun knew who it was without system scanning. However, it has nothing to do with me. Su Yun shook his head, not intending to hug his thigh. It didn't exist when there was no system before, let alone now. Although this system is unsatisfactory, it is matched with his own foresight. Not to mention the 1-year fighter, the 3-year fighter, and the 10-year fighter, the horse breaks the sky, but in this Dou Qi Continent, there is still some self-confidence that can be mixed with wind and water. Su Yun seemed to have a lot of thoughts, but in reality it was only a blink of an eye. Su Yun turned his head, continued to walk forward, and suddenly stopped. If I remember correctly, it is said in Dupa's original novel that Xiao Yan's mother passed away when Xiao Yan was 4 years old. In other words, that ring is already in Xiao Yan's hands. After he figured it out, Su Yun's hands trembled slightly, and the hotness in his eyes could not be concealed no matter what. Immediately turned around, green light flashed in his eyes, staring straight at Xiao Yan's hands. Sure enough, there was a ring on Xiao Yan's left ring finger. System, scan that ring. Su Yun shouted in his heart. Ding, scan failed. Scanned item is out of scan range. The system's notification sound came into his mind, and Su Yun's excitement receded a bit. He took a few deep breaths, trying to calm himself down as much as possible. Su Yun walked towards Xiao Yan and the others. After estimating that the distance was about the same, he continued to say to the system, scan that ring. Ding, the scan was successful. A sleeping soul body was detected. Continue, scan that soul body. Su Yun continued. Ding, scanning. Ding, the scan was successful. Name, Yaochen, sex, male, cultivation, 9-star peak Dozun, identity, 8th rank peak alchemist, cultivation method, scorching sun burning heaven Ju earth level advanced. Fighting skills, flame points devouring wave ruler low level ground level, items, bone spirit cold fire, Xuanzhong ruler, black demon cauldron, bone flame ring. Scan Yaochen's memory. While giving instructions to the system in his heart, the fire in Su Yun's eyes reappeared. Ding, the detection drug dust is in a sleeping state, start scanning. Ding, the scan is complete. Recycle. Ding, the recovery was successful, and the medicine dust memory has been stored in the system warehouse. An uncontrollable smile appeared on the corner of Su Yun's mouth. Resisting the urge to laugh wildly on the spot, she immediately turned around, ignored Xiao Yan and Xiao Sun'er's puzzled expressions, and left quickly. Brother Xiao Yan, do you know this person? Xiao Sun'er asked Xiao Yan. I don't know. Xiao Yan shook his head, his heart was full of doubts just like Xiao Sun'er. Su Yun's gaze just now made him feel a little scared. He had never met this poorly dressed little boy who looked like a porcelain doll. It doesn't matter, let's go back quickly, we've been out for a long time. Xiao Yan said to Xiao Sun'er. Xiao Yan did not take Su Yun's strange behavior to heart, a stranger who has never met, just an insignificant episode. Back home, Su Yun's door was locked and closed. He threw the food in his hands aside, sat on the bed and immersed himself in the system. Sure enough, the first resident came in the empty system warehouse, a gray-white air mass. Is this Yao Lao's lifelong memory? The first bucket of gold. Su Yun exclaimed, turn your attention away from Yao Lao's memory and return to the system. The function of this system is very simple, even rudimentary. There are only 3, scan, recycle, fusion. This function means that there are more inferior online games in the previous life than this. Su Yun couldn't help complaining. The capabilities of the three functions are also very simple, as the name suggests, scanning. With Su Yun as the center, people and objects within a radius of 1 meter can display a piece of information that Su Yun can see. Recycling, which is based on scanning, the scanned things, dead things, temporarily unconscious and unresisting living things, can all be recycled into the system space that comes with the system. As for the integration of this function, Su Yun is planning to try it now. After carefully comprehending the usage method and conditions of the fusion function, Su Yun went out again, came to Fengshe, approached each booth, carefully used the scanning function one by one, and carefully selected. Ding, scan to. Ding, scan to. Ding, scan to. Su Yun waited patiently. Ding, the scan found bone-washing flour. After Su Yun heard it, his heart moved, and he glanced at the stall owner without leaving any trace. How much is this yellow lotus essence? This thing costs 100 gold coins. Feasible. Seeing that the stall owner didn't pay attention to this place, Su Yun's heart moved. Take it back. Su Yun took a look in the system warehouse, and found that the bone-washing flour was already lying there safely, and immediately left the crime scene. Once succeeded, Su Yun concocted it according to the law, and obtained the medicinal materials and magic core he needed from other stalls. Su Yun is used to being careful, and only takes one kind of stall. This market is huge, and it is not uncommon for ordinary stalls to occasionally lose a thing or two. After returning home again, closing the doors and windows, and making sure that no one was around, Su Yun began to count the harvest: 3 complete purple leaf orchids, 2 bone-washing flowers, 1 wood-type first-level magic core, and 1 second-level magic core. A smile flashed across the corner of Su Yun's mouth, and there was only one step left. Chapter 3 Foundation Establishment Spiritual Liquid, Promotion. You are listening at NovelFull.audio. The system, search the memory of Yao Lao, and extract the prescription of the foundation building liquid. Su Yun said in his mind. Ding, searching. The search was successful. Su Yun mobilized his thoughts, and tapped each on the prescription: 3 purple leaf orchids, 2 bone-washing flowers, and the wood-type first-level magic core. Fusion. Su Yun said in his heart. Ding, a fusion solution has been detected, and a second-level magic core needs to be paid. Do you want to pay? Pay. Immediately, a mysterious aura rose, and at the same time, the medicinal materials and magic cores in the warehouse also disappeared. Instead, a drop of emerald-colored liquid was suspended in the system warehouse. With a thought in Su Yun's mind, the emerald liquid fell into the basin of clear water that Su Yun had just prepared. Immediately, the clear water in the basin turned blue. Su Yun took off his clothes, jumped into it, and began to practice. The night passed in a trance. Su Yun was naked, sitting cross-legged in the tub, with his hands in a strange knot in front of him, his eyes closed, and his breathing steady. As the practice time went by, the cyan liquid in the wooden basin gradually emitted a faint air flow, which was slightly cyan, and slowly climbed up, and finally penetrated into Su Yun's body along with Su Yun's breathing. As the air flow entered his body, Su Yun's immature face suddenly exuded a luster like warm jade. Call. Slowly opening his eyes, a gratifying smile appeared on his delicate face. Standing up, letting the water splash down from his body, he stretched his waist, feeling the fighting spirit in his body, and shouted in surprise, this. 4 stages of fighting spirit. It's no wonder that Xiao Yan can use this psychic liquid to continuously soar 4 stages a year. Although it was because of his recultivation, the effect of this foundation establishment liquid was really shocking. No wonder he is short-sighted. After coming to the Dou Qi Continent, he really felt how difficult it is to cultivate at the Dou Qi stage. It was easy to say before, but in the fighting spirit stage, every 3rd stage is a feng shuiling. After he completed the 3rd stage of fighting qi and filled his body with fighting qi, he had been attacking the 4th stage of fighting qi for 2 months, but there was no effect. Now it only takes 1 night to practice with the foundation building liquid, and it breaks through to the 4th stage of fighting spirit. Although it is due to the previous accumulation, there is no doubt about the miraculous effect of the foundation establishment spiritual liquid in the Dou Qi stage. The fusion function of this system is also miraculous, and since it is fusion, it should not be limited to synthetic pills. A trace of thought flashed in Su Yun's eyes. The function of fusion is like Su Yun's synthesis of foundation building liquid before, it can fuse all things. However, there are limitations and costs that you want to deal with. The limitation is the feasibility of the fusion plan, and the price is the magic core. In the information that came into my mind before, it was clearly stated that the fusion needs to consume the magic core, and the more advanced the fusion product, the higher the level of the magic core. According to Su Yun's speculation, fusion should consume energy, but what puzzles Su Yun is that it seems that fusion can only consume magic core. Su Yun couldn't figure it out for a while, shaking his head. Don't worry about these details. Originally, he planned to enroll in the Canaan Academy and join the Canaan Academy when he reached the 8th stage of fighting spirit. Before the age of 18, it would be easy for him to reach the enrollment line of the 8th stage doji. Even without the foundation establishment spiritual liquid, he was not born into a big family, and the best exercise left to him by his parents was the Lai Yen Gong of the middle Huang class. If you want to get in touch with higher level exercises and fighting skills, you must join the sect and the academy. This Canaan Academy is well known throughout the continent, even in Zhongzhou. So it is naturally the first choice. There is no way around this. In this Dou Qi Continent, for a talented commoner like him, joining the academy is the best choice. But now it is different. He has obtained the system, and has Yao Lao's lifelong collection as the backing, so the time to join Canaan Academy can be postponed. However, this Canaan Academy must be entered, and the falling heart flame. Su Yun fell into deep thought, overturning the previous plan to join the Canaan Academy after the 8th stage fighting spirit. He has all of Yao Lao's memories, so he doesn't have to worry about high-level exercises, and he can suspend joining the Canaan Academy. Even if he has a fire attribute physique, he still wants to practice Fenju. Fenju is Xiao Yan's biggest gold finger in the original work, so it would be a lie to say that he is not tempted. It can devour beast fire and strange fire to improve cultivation, and let people control a variety of different fires. If such a bug is allowed, he naturally wants to practice, but the postponement is the postponement. We have to go if we have to go. There is no setting that only fire attributes can still refine different fires. If he is not of the fire attribute, unable to practice Fenju, and can only absorb one kind of strange fire, then falling heart flame is the first choice. The sky-burning Qi refining pagoda in the Canaan inner court has such miraculous effects. If there is a complete fallen heart flame, the speed of cultivation must be astonishing. I met Xiao Yan in Fengshe before. He should be the same age as me. Su Yun pinched his fingers and counted the time. In the past 6 years in this city of Wutan, not only had he never heard of the name of Xiao Yan's genius as an 11-year-old dojo, but he also had no rumors about the 3rd stage waste of Doujichi. Today's meeting made Su Yun confirm the current timeline. This is a good thing for him. If the plot didn't start, the herbs and fighting skills in the caves in Qingshan town, and the Qinglian earth heart fire in the Tagore desert, all have a series of opportunities. The little girl at that time should be Xiao Suner. Indeed, it seemed that he was almost 1 year younger than Xiao Yan. Su Yun raised his right hand and pressed his head. This broken system doesn't even display the age, and he has to estimate it by himself. Bad review. If he remembered correctly, Xiao Suner was sent to the Xiao family by Gu Yuan when he was 4 years old. That means that she has just been sent to the Xiao family for about a year now, and Xiao Yan seems to be the same age as him, about 6 years old. Basically right. Su Yun put down his fingers and began to recall. He came from rebirth, and after discovering that this is the world of Fight's break sphere, he consciously recalled the plots he had seen in his previous life. At that time, I also read it several times, excluding individual details. I remembered the plot in many settings. If my memory is correct, Xiao Yan practiced Qi at the age of 4, possessed the 9th level of Dou Qi at the age of 10, and at the age of 11, successfully condensed the Dou Qi cyclone and became a Dou Zhe. After that, he was directly squeezed dry by Yao Lao, and it lasted for 3 years. Xiao Yan's cultivation retreated from Dou Zhe to the 3rd stage of Dou Qi. Get sucked away. It doesn't even move the cultivation base. And after 3 years, there will be a storm of divorce, a 3-year agreement. At the age of 11, his cultivation began to regress, and he was squeezed dry for 3 years. That is to say, the plot officially started when Xiao Yan was 14. Is that so? Su Yun couldn't help frowning. No, it should be a breakthrough fighter who was over 11 years old, and then was squeezed for more than 3 years. Chapter 4 Penance. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Su Yun remembered, this is a detail. Su Yun couldn't remember most of the details, but this detail appeared in the first 3 chapters of the book, and he had a deep impression on him, so he remembered it, a little more here, a little more there. At the beginning of the plot, Xiao Yan was 15 years old. 9 years left. Su Yun thought, no wonder he counted the times so tight, he is a small commoner with no backing and only an outdated system. If he wants to grow up and be unrestrained in this vindictive continent, cutting off the protagonist's chance is the safest way. If people are not for themselves, heaven and earth will perish. Practice does not count years, and in the blink of an eye, 1.5 years have passed. This foundation building liquid can be consumed really quickly. Looking at the water basin that was crystal clear again, Su Yun's eyes were gloomy and he sighed. This foundation building liquid can only allow him to practice for 2 months at a time, and every 2 months, he will visit the stall in Fengshe, think about it and feel a little guilty. After getting up and getting dressed, he walked towards Fengshe again. With the support of all stall owners, his cultivation results are gratifying. After 1.5 years of penance, his cultivation had just broken through to the 7th stage of Dou Qi 7 days ago. This result is really not as good as Xiao Yan's, but it's not too slow. Xiao Yan has been standing still for 3 years to lay a solid foundation, and because of the reconstruction, he was able to go from the 3rd stage of fighting spirit to the 4th stage to the 7th stage of fighting spirit in 1 year. He has been without waste for 3 years, and in 1.5 years, he has been promoted from the 4th stage of fighting spirit to the 7th stage of fighting spirit, and the 3rd stage of fighting spirit. It is already very satisfying to have such a cultivation level before the age of 8. In the original book, even Xiao Yan's fiancée, Nailan Yanran, was only 12 years old, and the young master of the majestic Yunlan sect was no more than that, not to mention the other so-called young talents in the Jiama Empire. Su Yun's cultivation level has already surpassed his peers by a whole block. The Fengshe he came to this time is not the Shao family's before, he is only a little successful now. And being careful is still his #1 criterion. Every 2 months he collects the materials for building the foundation liquid, and he visits the market of Wutan City in turn, just to be careful, although there is basically no possibility of being discovered when he collects it at a distance of 1 meter, but being careful is no big deal. Wrong, this foundation establishment spiritual liquid was consumed quite quickly, and he had collected materials more often in this way, so he was naturally familiar with the operation. After arriving in Fengshe, he basically finished collecting in a short while. The only thing missing is the last bone-washing flower and a Tier 1 demon core. Su Yun thought in his heart. There is a plant here. Su Yun's eyes lit up. The owner of this stall was yawning. Taking advantage of this time, Su Yun directly activated the scanning and recycling function to collect it into his bag. After getting it, Su Yun walked past the booth like a normal person. Hey, I remember that there was a bone-washing flower here just now, why did it disappear? Hearing the voice coming from behind, Su Yun still didn't respond. I have encountered a similar situation before, but he walked well in the aisle, didn't touch anything in the booth at all, and naturally didn't arouse any suspicion. Looking back at the stall owner scratching his head anxiously, Su Yun sighed and thought about his sins in his heart. After Su Yun said a word in his heart, he put his sins behind him and stopped defending himself. Find your last blind material in this market. Su Yun's heart skipped a beat. Just in front of Su Yun suddenly came 3 men. The man in the middle was dressed in luxurious clothes, and the other 2 walked on both sides, occupying a relatively rear position. Obviously, it was the young master who didn't know which one. Well, this jewelry is pretty good, I want it. The luxuriously dressed son looked left and right, picked up a bracelet from the booth at random, and stuffed it into his arms. Zhang Yu, pay. One of the guards took out a gold coin from his pocket and threw it on the booth, and then the 3 walked away. Su Yun raised his eyebrows, and the bracelet was inlaid with a first-order water magic core. Jewelry and weapons inlaid with magic cores like this would cost 1,000 gold coins even for a first-level magic core in this Dou Qi Continent. Hey. The stall owner looked ugly, but he didn't dare to say anything. The passers-by on the side also pretended not to see it. Su Yun looked at the man and said in his heart, "Scan, name, Galio, sex, male, cultivation level, 6th stage of fighting spirit, skills, none, fighting skills, none." Galio? Is that the one who coveted Shao Suner in the original book? Su Yun thought, he has an impression of Galio, a villain in the early stage, who has no role in the scene. The talent is not good enough. She looks 13 or 14 years old and only has a level 6 fighting spirit. Su Yun secretly despised him. If he let others know his thoughts, he would probably vomit 3 liters of blood. Galio's talent is not considered low. At the beginning of the story in the original book, Galio broke through as a 1-star fighter at the age of 22 or 3. In the small place of Wutan City, he can already be said to be above average. Up. Su Yun has been comparing himself with such arrogances as Xiao Yan and Shao Suner in his heart, unconsciously ignoring the average level of the Jia Ma Empire. This Dou Qi Continent is really the jungle of the jungle, and Galio, who comes from the 3 major families, is in his own market, so the stall owner can only suffer from this dark loss. Seeing this scene, Su Yun's desire for strength increased to a higher level, and he silently mourned for the stall owner for 3 seconds, not minding his own business. Su Yun wandered around the city for a while, collected a first-order wood magic core with the system, and left the city. When he got home, Su Yun sat on the ground and didn't start practicing immediately. I have reached the 7th stage of fighting spirit, and with my cultivation speed, I will reach the 9th stage of fighting spirit in just a few years. Su Yun was thinking about condensing the Doji cyclone. In this Dou Qi Continent, to become a good doji, one must condense Dou Qi in the body. However, the condensed cyclone has a high failure rate. After failure, the fighting spirit of the 9th stage will drop back to the 8th stage. Some people who are unlucky have failed to gather it for more than 10 times. Don't think about Qi Ju-san. Su Yun sighed. Although he has a system and a lifelong memory of Yao Lao, the problem of resources is his pain point. He even used the system to obtain, steal, the medicinal materials and magic core of the Foundation Establishment spiritual liquid, and the shortcomings of this method are obvious. Magic cores above the 3rd level and herbal medicines refined to the 3rd level are basically invisible in this square city. As for following Xiao Yan's example and going to the auction house, it's not impossible, but the Mitre auction house in Yutan City didn't gather its energy. Su Yun didn't struggle with this matter for a long time. He had the Foundation Establishment Essence Liquid, so even if he failed a few times, it would be easy to rebuild. After merging the Foundation Building Liquid, Su Yun fell into penance again. Chapter 5 3 Years, Breakthrough Fighter. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Call. In a low house in the alley, Su Yun is absorbing fighting spirit. Pale energy streams seeped out from the air, and then continuously poured into the young man's body. With the continuous influx of Dou Qi, a trace of fatigue flashed across Su Yun's face. He let go of his gestures, and stopped practicing. Su Yun stood up from the water basin, twisted his numb neck, stretched his waist, and there was a crackling sound of bones colliding. It's been about 3 years since I got the system. Su Yun calculated the time silently. Although my own system has not kept up with the times, there is no way to sign in, clock in, and play the role of a peerless powerhouse, just seconds away. But if you use it properly and cooperate with your own prophetic ability, the future can also be expected. Su Yun walked out of the gate and walked towards the street. This time he was going to relax. In the past 3 years, except for the necessary supplies, he has hardly left the house. Now the cultivation base has reached the 9th stage of Dou Qi, and the Dou Qi in his body is full, and there is no way to advance. Just finished training. The state is not good. Rushing to attack the doja to condense the Dou Qi whirlwind, the possibility of failure is very high. He needs to adjust his status. Ever since he knew that this was the Dou Qi Continent, all he could think about was cultivation. And he didn't care too much about the surrounding environment. Naturally, he doesn't have any friends in Wutan City, and he can't play with him at his inner age. His relaxation was just wandering around Wutan City. after relaxing in Wutan City for an hour, Su Yun's mind became active again. 9-year-old and 9-stage fighting spirit, not to mention in Jia Ma Empire, even in Zhongzhou, you can be considered a genius. Thanks to the foundation building liquid, his current cultivation is already superior to his peers, even Xiao Yan can't match it. If he is in place this time and successfully condenses the Dou Qi whirlwind, he will reach Doja 2 years earlier than Xiao Yan. Su Yun cheered for himself in his heart. I was fortunate enough to be a member of the Time Traveler, and got the system, and successfully recovered Yao Lao's lifelong memory. Luck is not too bad. In any case, don't be timid, even if you are sprayed with evil, you must go forward. If even a doji cyclone can't condense, just hang up and forget about it. After adjusting his form, Su Yun returned home and sat cross-legged, taking a deep breath. He forcibly suppressed the tumbling anxiety in his heart and further adjusted his breath on the bed. After an hour, Su Yun finally adjusted his physical condition to the peak. At this time, it was the best time for him to attack the fighter. Su Yun's face was calm, no expression could be seen, his hands formed fingerprints for absorbing Dou Qi, his breathing gradually became steady, and the faint Dou Qi in his body moved in response to his heart. In the room, the calm air swayed violently, traces of pale fighting spirit permeated from the air, and penetrated into Su Yun's body. With the passage of time, the surrounding Dou Qi kept pouring in, and the scale of the Dou Qi in Su Yun's body was slowly expanding. With the constant infusion of Dou Qi outside of Su Yun's body, the Dou Qi in Su Yun's body has gradually filled most of the veins. Sensing the situation in his body, Su Yun took a deep breath, his handprint suddenly changed, and his 10 fingers formed a strange handprint. With the change of the handprint, the surging Dou Qi in the body shrank rapidly towards the lower abdomen as if receiving a violent suction. When all the Dou Qi had shrunk to the lower abdomen, the pale Dou Qi had already started to turn into milky white. Su Yun felt the pale fighting spirit in the veins in his body tilted into the air. He concentrated his mind, took 2 lives as a person, and compressed the fighting spirit in his body with his impressive soul power. The milky white Dou Qi in the lower abdomen started to resist, and kept churning violently. The power of resistance is not weak, but the combined age of Su Yun and the 2 is almost 30, and the soul power is completely outstanding at the stage of Doji Qi 9th stage. After the 2 forces were in a stalemate for a while, the fighting spirit continued to shrink. I don't know how much time has passed, and a soft muffled sound quietly resounded in the body. With the muffled sound, the sense of resistance dissipated out of thin air. With a heavy sigh of relief, Su Yun's chest heaved violently. Lying on the bed, sensing the abundant energy in his body, a smile appeared on the corner of Su Yun's mouth, and just about to get up, a feeling of drowsiness welled up in his heart, and he fell into a deep sleep. This sleep lasted for 1 night, and it was already the next morning when Su Yun woke up. The dawn slowly opened, the newborn sun shone on the young man's cheeks, and a few sparrows sang by the window. On the bird's nest outside the house, the young chicks have full wings, and they can't fly thousands of miles without worrying about it. Su Yun let out a breath, moved his slightly numb legs, and sat cross-legged, with slightly closed eyes. Su Yun's mind gradually sank into his body. Inner vision, this is an ability that can only be mastered at the fighter level. The higher the strength, the more thorough the exploration of the situation in the body. Where the mind sinks into the lower abdomen, a palm-sized milky white cyclone is slowly rotating, and around the cyclone is a layer of nebula-like milky white energy gas. Focusing on the small cyclone, Su Yun nodded in satisfaction. Although the size of the current cyclone is small, the energy contained in it is not comparable to that at the 9th stage of Doji Qi. The stage of Doja and Doji Qi are almost fundamentally different. The energy absorbed by the Doja before is called Dou Qi, and the energy absorbed by the Doja afterward is the real Dou Qi. Although there is only 1 word difference between the 2, the difference cannot be summed up in 1 or 2 words. The tightly closed eyes suddenly opened, and Su Yun's deep pupils flashed with 3 points of confidence, not to mention the strength of Doja in the Dou Qi Continent. Even in this Wutan city, he cannot be ranked high, but the thrill of being promoted still made him feel a little satisfied. No matter how weak it is still stronger than the fighting spirit stage. Adjusting his mentality, he said silently in his heart, now is not the time to drift away. Leaving behind the self-satisfaction he had just produced, Su Yun began to look through Yao Lao's memory. Doja is at a different stage from Doji Qi, and can already start practicing Dou Qi Kung Fu. on the Dou Qi Continent, the yellow rank Kung Fu skills are bad, and those of the Xian rank and above are not accessible to ordinary people. There are also fighting skills, those above the profound level must join the sect or academy to obtain them. Of course, if you have enough financial resources, you can also try your luck at the auction. Su Yun is not worried about this. Alchemists, especially high-level alchemists, look down on gold coins. If you want high-level pharmacists to help you refine elixir, you have to come up with bargaining chips that can impress them, and in this regard, martial arts and fighting skills are especially useful. As a peak alchemist of the 8th rank, Yao Lao must have a lot of collections. The early stage of transition is naturally not a problem. Etc. I don't know my attributes yet. Su Yun felt dizzy. Chapter 6 Properties. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Su Yun felt that it was difficult. In the original book, Xiao Yan tested his attributes in Zhao's Dou Qi Pavilion. I'm an asshole, but I don't have the means to detect it. When troubled, Su Yun thought of the system. Why don't you try? Su Yun is a man of action, and he will do what he says. System, scan me. Su Yun thought in his heart. Ding, the scan was successful. Name, Su Yun, sex, male, cultivation, 1-star fighter, skills, none, fighting skills, none, items, none. System, display fighting spirit attribute. Su Yun thought again in his heart. Ding, the attributes are displayed. Name, Su Yun, sex, male, cultivation, 1-star fighter, attributes, fire, ice, wood, skills, none, fighting skills, none, items, none. It's really good. Su Yun looked at the different information form and sighed. It seems that some information on this system panel needs to be triggered by itself. Fire and ice, as well as wood attributes. Then I meet the conditions to become a pharmacist. A hint of surprise flashed in Su Yun's heart. Although he can use the system to synthesize elixirs, each synthesis will cost a magic core of the corresponding grade. Low-level elixirs are okay, but this comes later. Su Yun thought of this and shook his head. Since the conditions for becoming a pharmacist are met, and there is a foundation of Yao Lao's memory, it is necessary to refine medicine by himself. This system fusion function is indeed against the sky, but the cost is too high. Thinking of this, Su Yun shifted his gaze to his own ice attribute. In the Dou Qi Continent, the attributes of the human body depend on their souls. A soul only has one attribute, and generally there are no other attributes in it. Of course, there are no absolutes. Among hundreds of millions of people, there will always be some people whose souls have mutated, and these people with mutated souls will have two different attributes, one strong and one weak. Alchemist is a good example. And looking at the display of the system, there are actually 3 types of attributes. Su Yun is familiar with the original work, so he only knows that Feng Qing'er in the original work is similar to himself. It's just that I am much more special. Feng Qing'er has 2 irresistible dual attributes of wind and thunder, while his fire and ice conflict with each other, not to mention the wood attribute. But then again, fire and wood are also in conflict with each other. Then there should be no problem of incompatibility of attributes. After all, every alchemist has dual attributes of fire and wood. It's just that the wood attribute is almost negligible. This is the choice of this skill. Su Yun felt dizzy. Originally, I planned to practice Fenju if it was a fire attribute, and choose the highest level repair if it was another attribute. Who knew that he had an ice attribute? Speaking of which, is it possible to fuse Fenju with other ice attribute exercises? Su Yun's brain was wide open, and then his eyes lit up. He could try it. Anyway, the exercises will not disappear. Immediately, Xin clicked on Fenju, and then clicked on 9 Nether Frost Ju, which is the lowest level exercise with the highest ice attribute in Yao Lao's collection. Restart the system fusion function. Ding, a fusion solution has been detected. Do you want to spend a 5th order magic core fusion? 5th level. Su Yun's eyes almost popped out. 5th order magic core. How embarrassing is this for a person who has never seen a 3rd order magic core? Su Yun was not discouraged because of this. Since there is a fusion solution, it shows that this road is feasible. Su Yun tried to integrate the low-level ice attribute Kung Fu of Huang rank with Fenju. Ding, a fusion solution has been detected. Do you want to spend a 1st order magic core fusion? 1st order. Su Yun tried again. Integrate the ice attribute Kung Fu of the middle level Huang rank. Ding, a fusion solution has been detected. Do you want to spend a first order magic core fusion? Still the first order. Su Yun was taken aback. Once again, he searched for the exercises in Yao Lao's memory. This time it is the senior Huang Jie. Ding, a fusion solution has been detected. Do you want to spend a second order magic core fusion? Su Yun didn't stop hearing the system's notification sound, and then tried to integrate the low-level ice attribute skills of the mysterious level into Fenju. Ding, a fusion solution has been detected. Do you want to spend a third-order magic core fusion? Third level. Su Yun stopped trying. Although he hasn't understood the system's magic core requirements for the fusion of skills, he has no plans to try it. He only has a second-order magic core at the moment, so it's useless to understand. It won't be too late to have a higher-level magic core in the future. Fusion. Su Yun said silently in his heart. Ding, the fusion is complete. Congratulations to the host for obtaining the advanced yellow rank exercises. There was an inexplicable fluctuation in Su Yun's mind. Shake your head and immerse your mind in your mind. Is this the new exercise? After a while, Su Yun frowned. This new exercise did not meet his expectations. This new technique retains the function of Fenju devouring the evolution of different fires, and has two attributes of fire and ice. However, this dual attribute of fire and ice does not mean that he can have the combination of wind attribute and thunder attribute like Feng Qing'er in the original book. That kind of grudge also has the characteristics of wind and thunder dual attribute grudge, which can greatly increase a person's combat power, and although this new skill has the dual attributes of ice and fire, it can only allow him to use the fighting energy of the two attributes of ice and fire at the same time or alone, and it cannot make the fighting energy merge. Although the means of confronting the enemy can be varied and flexible, it still did not meet Su Yun's expectations. It's not bad. Su Yun comforted himself. He took it for granted. In this Dou Qi Continent, there are undoubtedly very few fighters with dual attributes, and there is also a Feng Qing'er in the original book. This new technique not only has the dual attributes of ice and fire, but also retains the function of Fenju devouring the evolution of different fires. It is already the best of the best. According to the description in the original book, Fenju seems to be able to leapfrog just like octopole collapse. Su Yun fell into deep thought. Yao Lao had commented on Xiaoyan's Fenju when it was still a low-level exercise of the Huang rank, and said that Fenju was comparable to the middle-level exercises of the Huang rank. Then, when Fenju devoured purple fire and evolved into a middle-level yellow rank exercise, it was once again evaluated as comparable to a high-level yellow rank exercise. This new technique also has such a leapfrog property. It is comparable to low-level exercises of the mysterious level. Thinking about it, Su Yun felt much more satisfied. In the Dou Qi Continent, there are very few martial arts and fighting skills that can leapfrog. The low-level exercises of the mysterious level are already close to the ceiling in this city of Yuten. Among the three major families, the Shao family's Mad Master Fury Gang is at the middle level of the Xian class, and the other two families are only at the lower level of the Xian class. Wait, what if I can devour the cold fire of the bone spirit with this exercise? Su Yun's eyes lit up. Bone spirit cold fire is entirely possible to solve the problem of fighting Qi ice fire attribute. It has both the characteristics of fire and the coldness of ice. It is feasible. The more Su Yun thought about it, the brighter his eyes became. Yao Lao is really a treasure boy. Hey, it looks like I'm going to pull the wool again. Su Yun grinned. Let's get a name first. Since it has two attributes of ice and fire at the same time, it's called Fenhanju. Chapter 7 The Bone Spirit Gets Cold. You are listening at NovelFull.audio. In the small room, Su Yun opened his eyes. It doesn't take too long to transform Battle Qi for the first time. Su Yun completed the transformation in just an hour. Then it's time to think about the future practice. Su Yun does not intend to continue to cultivate in Wutan City. The flowers in the greenhouse are no match for the weeds that grow savagely. He didn't want to be a waste with grudges. Douji's strength is still at the bottom level, but it is much better than the Doujichi stage, and has already begun to take shape in slightly remote places, and in the years since he obtained the system, he discovered a means to save his life, system space. The system space can accommodate living things. And he only needs a thought to get into it, that is to say, as long as he doesn't meet an enemy who can kill him in an instant, he will remain invincible. At the corner of the main street in front of Zhao's house, Suyun was waiting quietly in a black robe. The cold fire of the bone spirit may make the two attributes of fire and ice in Fenhanjia merge into one, and he can't give up. Yao Lao only woke up when Xiao Yan was 15 years old, but after another 2 years he would be able to absorb Xiao Yan's grudge. It is difficult to guarantee that he was really unconscious at that time. Although it is impossible for him to swallow the cold fire of bone spirit now, it is always right to get it first. Time passed slowly, 7 days passed by, and a boy about 10 years old walked out slowly. Scan Suyun thought in his heart in the corner, he and Xiao Yan only met once 3 years ago, but I can't remember the appearance or anything. During the 7 days of squatting, he had to scan almost every child who came out one by one, and there was no other way. Ding, the scan was successful. Name, Xiao Yan, sex, male, cultivation level, 8th stage of fighting spirit, skills, none, fighting skills, none. Items, none. It's finally here. I've waited 7 days in vain. Su Yun's eyes lit up under the black robe. System, scan that ring. Ding, the scan was successful. A sleeping soul body was detected. Continue, scan that soul body. Su Yun continued. Ding, scanning. Ding, the scan was successful. Name, Yaochen, sex, male, cultivation, 9-star peak Dozun, identity, 8th rank peak alchemist, cultivation method, scorching sun burning heaven Ju advanced level, fighting skills, flame points devouring wave ruler low level ground level, items, bone spirit cold fire, Xuanzhong ruler, black demon cauldron, bone flame ring. Scan bone spirit cold fire. Ding, scanning. Ding, the scan was successful. Name, bone spirit cold fire, introduction, ranked 11th on the alien fire ranking. The strange combination of extreme cold and extreme heat can only be encountered in extremely cold and extremely cloudy places when the sun and the moon alternate every 100 years. Recover bone spirit cold fire. Ding, the recovery was successful. Following the system's beep, bone spirit Linghua appeared in the system warehouse. Su Yun in the corner grinned, turned and left. Bone spirit Linghua, who is ranked 11th on the alien fire ranking, is indeed not something that a small 1-star fighter like him can refine, but it didn't hinder Su Yun's happy mood. At the same time, Xiao Yan at the gate of the Xiao family was also happy physically and mentally. At the age of 9, he was already at the 8th stage of Dou Qi, and he was in the limelight in the Xiao family. People of the same age in the clan all nodded and bowed when they saw him. Xiao Mei, Xiao Suner and all the little Lolitas circled around him every day. Although he had no interest in little kids, his vanity was greatly satisfied. Obviously, the future Emperor Yan has not experienced a 3-year trough, and at this time there is no such thing as the opening of the original book. Think about it too, an ordinary person from the 20th century who was doing nothing, once time traveling. The young man is full of vigor, and it is normal for him to be proud of himself. A dog king like Su Yun who knows the cruelty of the world, who is steady like an old dog and devotes himself to cultivation, is different. At this time, Su Yun was on his way to Qingshan town. He had already thought about going to Qingshan town for training. First of all, the original cave where Xiao Yan and little Dr. Fairy entered. There are a lot of good things there, whether it is flying fighting skills, the remnant map of the net lotus demon fire, or the ice spirit flame grass. They must be obtained. Although the previous life fan humanities wrote this place badly, but since they are all badly written, it undoubtedly represents the importance of this place. No matter what the dog author plans to write, he, Su Yun, must go. In addition, the overall strength of the fighters in Qingshan town is very low. If the current ceiling of the mainland is a dozen of the 4 9-star Dou Xing semi-imperial level young emperor pills, the ones who add to the empire are the terrifying Dou Huang powerhouses. The ceiling of Qingshan town is Dou Shi. In Qingshan town, the fighters with higher star ratings are the mainstay, just like the 8-star fighter Hemen, the deputy head of the Wolf-Head mercenary group in the original book. It can be seen that the overall strength of Qingshan town is Really not that high, he is just a one-star fighter now, and there is no need to go to a big stage. Qingshan Town is pretty good, it is equivalent to the Fenhan-ju of the low-level Xian-level Kung Fu, plus the high-level fighting skills collected by Yao Lao. If he practiced hard for a few months, he would have good strength in Qingshan Town. Before the sky gradually darkened, Su Yun finally arrived at his destination. Su Yunlai's new environment was unavoidably curious, and he looked left and right to see the customs of Qingshan Town. In the small town, mercenaries who have been adding blood to their swords all day long are in groups, hugging each other's arms, and spitting freely on the street, discussing unscrupulously where the women in the town are the most flavorful, where the wine is the strongest, and where the monsters are the most vicious. There are many shops on both sides of the street, and because of the favorable location, the popularity is quite hot. Su Yun glanced at those brightly lit shops with interest, but when his eyes fell on a medicinal materials store with a rather spacious area, he stopped in his tracks. This medicinal herb shop is indeed Wanyaozhai. Su Yun is impressive. The little fairy doctor who is pregnant with the poisonous body is here, but now there are still 6 years before the start of the plot. I am afraid that the little doctor will not be able to see it. Shaking his head, he didn't intend to go in. Xiao Yan came to Qingshan Town in the year after the plot started, and it will be 7 years from now, so it is impossible for the blood lotus essence to appear now. Going forward, after walking around in Qingshan Town for an hour, Su Yun began to calm down. He always kept in mind the cruelty of the Dou Qi Continent and the purpose of coming to Qingshan Town. The strength of a mere ants-like fighter cannot make him feel complacent. He is a pragmatic person, and he doesn't have any thoughts of a harem in another world or a king's dominance. He is not the protagonist, but just a lucky ordinary person, as evidenced by the system that came 6 years late. The most urgent task is to improve one's own strength, so as to live well in this other world. Now this kind of humble practice can be found everywhere in Qingshan Town, not to mention other places. Chapter 10 Purple Cloud Wing. You are listening at novelfull.audio. This kind of monster has the thin blood of the phoenix, and its flying speed is extremely fast. Since Purple Cloud Wing was taken from it, it inherited its speed. Su Yun is only a 5-star fighter now. If he wants to use all his strength, he must exhaust his battle energy in a short time, but this is enough. The short-term rapidity of Purple Cloud Wing, coupled with the ability to enter the system space in an instant. That is to say, the system space is guaranteed not to be discovered, and there is no risk of being guarded in place. He had such worries before. System space is a good way to save life, but if you use it too much, sooner or later your information will be leaked and you will be targeted. The arrival of Purple Cloud Wing just alleviated such concerns. The strongest in the overweight empire is Dou Huang, and Zi Yuni at full speed is faster than Dou Huang. As long as it wasn't Dou Huang chasing him down, he could have escaped with Ziyuni and the system space. Don't you see, in the Great Tagore Desert, Xiao Yan, even as a Dou Shi, was able to compete with the 3 Dou kings with Zi Yuni. With the blessing of Yao Lao, he was urged to move with all his strength, and only Yun Yun, the wind-type fighting emperor, could catch up with her physical fighting skills. Of course, if a super-standard Dou zone like Yun Shan appeared, he could only find a cover and enter the system space directly. Su Yun calmed down and no longer indulged in Zi Yuni's power. He moved his palms over the scroll, lightly pressed the soft wings, and took a deep breath. Not long after the palms were attached to the wings, the tyrannical eagle's soul suddenly uttered a sharp cry that made the soul tremble. The sound passed through the scroll, and finally along Su Yun's arm. It hit him like a drill. Brain. Su Yun's whole body trembled suddenly, and his face turned a little pale out of nowhere. Su Yun gritted his teeth and persisted, holding on to his mind. Like Xiao Yan, he was born in Blue Star and was born with a strong soul. He can, there's no reason he can't, manipulating his own soul power to resist the impact of the eagle's soul. Finally, nearly 20 minutes later, the eagle's soul dissipated. Call, the 5th order remnant soul is so terrifying. Su Yun said with emotion. After a short rest, his palms touched the eagle's wings again. This time the eagle's soul has dissipated and has not been attacked again. Su Yun slowly circulated the Dou Qi in his body along the track described on the scroll. After a while, 2 tiny purple-black rays of light penetrated into Su Yun's body, running along the meridian, and when it reached the meridian on the back, It stopped immediately, and then pulled out the meridian into two extremely small branches. These two branches extend from the main trunk and stop slowly when they reach the back, and behind Su Yun, a pair of palm-sized black eagle wings appeared out of thin air. Success! Su Yun said happily, although the process is painful, the result is gratifying. Su Yun circulated his grudge along the two divided branches. After receiving the transmission of grudge, the dark tattoo lemur released a faint purple brilliance, and finally turned into real wings, and the area of the black eagle wings also expanded from the size of a palm to about half a foot. Looking back at Zi Yuni who appeared behind him, Su Yun's heart was filled with satisfaction. Su Yun put Zi Yun wing away, and did not continue to try. After tidying up a bit, returned to the inn. Su Yun sat cross-legged on the bed and began to practice. Now is not the time to rest, the strength of the 5-star fighters is far from enough. Cool. Su Yun jumped out of bed, twisted his neck, and made a crisp bone sound, slightly clenched the palms. A sense of substantial strength made the corners of Su Yun's mouth twitch with joy. Break through. 6-star fighter. Su Yun raised his head and smiled lowly. It's not easy to cultivate grudge. He didn't get too powerful golden finger, so he can only move forward step by step, playing. The leapfrog growth of sign-in has nothing to do with him. It is normal to make further progress. Su Yun restrained his happy mood and sorted out the harvest again. He doesn't intend to practice the fighting skill of the crazy lion. Yao Lao has a lot of fighting skills in his collection, and this book is not bad. Su Yun set his sights on the colorful Poison Sutra. This book can help him. Yao Lao is indeed well informed, and he is definitely better than this colorful poison classic in terms of anecdotes and common sense in mainland China. Yao Lao is always a dishonest person, even an old-fashioned critic, but he is aboveboard and upright. In terms of poison, it is not deeply involved. In addition, he was born in the medicine clan, and his starting point was not low. Even when he was expelled from the medicine clan, he still had the strength of a 3-star fighter. There is even no research on low-end poisons. Letting him detoxify is okay, but configuring low-level poisons, it is difficult for others. Su Yun has no background and doesn't think he is a bad person, but he doesn't want to be a good person either. Good people don't live long. Su Yun tapped on the colorful poison classic, and tapped himself again. System, integration. Ding, a fusion solution has been detected. Ding, it needs to consume a first-order magic core. Is it fused? Fusion. At the moment when Su Yun said the fusion, a first-order magic core in the system warehouse disappeared, and a mysterious feeling rushed into Su Yun's heart, but in a short time, the content of 7-colored poison classic was completely mastered by Su Yun. Su Yun's development of the system deepened over time. Although this system is simple in function, it also contains infinite possibilities. How useful it can be depends entirely on how the user uses it. This newly discovered usage can also be used in fighting skills, but the magic core consumed is as simple as that. Non-advanced trivia books consume a first-order magic core. Yellow level, low level and intermediate level consumption of the first level magic core. The yellow level high level consumes the second level magic core. Mysterious level low level and intermediate level consume a third level magic core. Mysterious level high level consumption of 4th level magic core. Low level and middle level earth level consume 5th level magic cores. As for going further up, I don't know. Earth level martial arts and fighting skills are really rare, as can be seen in the original Chinese medicine master Xiao Yan's choice of low level exercises and Fenju. Earth level kung fu fighting skills are extremely rare even in Zhongzhou. When Su Yun discovered this usefulness, he was overjoyed for a moment, but he almost vomited blood when he saw that advanced Xian-level fighting skills needed to consume a 4th-level magic core. Poor Su Yun, he has only now cultivated Baji collapse to the level of 2 layers of dark energy, but that's pretty darn good too. 8 Extremes collapse is really special. The fierce explosive power on the surface alone can be compared with the middle-level fighting skills of the Xian class. This is also reflected in the original work. When Xiao Yan and Lu Shi met for the first time, Jiao Liao challenged Xiao Yan in order to stand out. At that time, Xiao Yan had already got rid of his reputation as a waste, and with the help of Yao Lao, he had made great progress in cultivation. Liu coveted Xiao Suner again. Xiao Yan naturally accepted the challenge and started fighting on the spot. Galio is not talented, but he is a little older. Xiao Yan is very talented, the son of destiny. Coincidentally, both of them were 3-star fighters. At that time, Xiao Yan hadn't mastered the dark energy of 8 extremes collapse. And what's even more unbelievable is that Xiao Yan's Fenju didn't evolve once at that time. It was the last low-level yellow rank, and Galio practiced the high-level Fenghuan Ju of the Xian rank, and the green wind spinning fist used was a low-level fighting skill of the Xian rank that matched the wind Huan Ju. The fighting skills that are matched with the exercises are usually much stronger than the same level of fighting skills. Galio practiced wind volume Ju and used blue wind spinning fist, but his power did not reach the middle level of the Xian class, but it must be stronger at the lower level of the Xian class. Fenju also has the feature of crossing levels, but at that time Fenju was only at the lower level of the yellow rank, at most comparable to the middle level of the yellow rank, and far from the high level of the Xian rank. In a battle at the same level, Xiao Yan was able to win even though his skills were inferior. The reason was because of Baji collapse. Even if it is Baji Bang, which only has the explosive power of the bright side, its power is comparable to that of the middle-level Xian-level fighting skills, and even exceeds it. At least it is equivalent to the Xian-level intermediate fighting skills that are matched with the exercises, and as long as one level of dark energy is cultivated, it is worthy of the name of high-level fighting skills of the Xian level. As for the low-level fighting skills comparable to the earth level in the introduction, they must be stacked in 8 stacks. The ground level does not mean that you can cross it by crossing it, it is already another level.